Okay, now we're recording. I'm really am ready for you now.
Okay. Whenever. Okay. When carrier or messenger pigeon.
Think about the Jewish.
I'm just fast forwarding it to where my part was. So think about the last time you opened Amazon. Pages full of recommendations. These are not random. They're chosen by an algorithm for you. It's helpful when it has to do with shopping, but what about when it's for information? Today I'll explain how algorithms work, when personalization can become a problem, and why understanding these helps us make more informed decisions. Recommendation algorithms work by learning our online behavior. They analyze clicks, watch times, shopping, purchases. It looks for patterns. The goal is engagement. Computer scientist Arvind Narayanan explains that recommendation systems analyze our online behavior and use those patterns to predict what we're most likely to engage with next. If shopping on Amazon, you search for cat toys, the next time you log on, you're going to see more cat toys. It learns from the clicks, it predicts your future engagement, but it does not show you every option. That's really helpful when we're shopping because it saves time. But what happens when the same systems start deciding what information we see first? Personalization becomes a problem when we all start seeing different versions of the same internet. We use the same internet, but we make different choices. Those choices then in turn get us different recommendations. Now we're seeing different information. So imagine that this stack of paper is all the information on one particular subject. But what you're served first is a single sheet. So what about all of this? What about all this information that you're not necessarily being served up? Now, it's not removing the information. The algorithms just show you what you see, what is first. It's deciding what's on top. Most people start there and they stay there. They think that that must be the most accurate information, or maybe what most people were interested in. They don't dig for more. But what about what's in the rest of the stack? And that's only the beginning. So algorithms don't just decide what you see first, it also learns from what you do next. So what does that look like? Say a friend sends you a Facebook message with a link to an article. Maybe it shows a forest scene and it just says Northern California. So you click on it because it's local to you. Turns out it's an article on Bigfoot. The algorithm only knows that you clicked. Now you see more Bigfoot content. You see it in shopping recommendations. You see it in news articles, clothing recommendations. Everyone else is trying to find Bigfoot and you can't get rid of him. So after interacting with that new information, psychology tells us that there's two ways it can affect us. The first possibility has to do with repeated exposure. So psychologist Lisa Fazio and her colleagues found that repeated exposure to ideas repeated exposure to ideas makes the info easier for our brains to process, and that it can make it seem more believable. You click on a new topic, you start seeing similar topics. The brain processes it easier because it's already done it before, so it seems more believable, but that doesn't automatically make it true. The second possibility is if it's something that you already believe. So psychologist Raymond Nickerson describes confirmation bias as our tendency to seek out, interpret, and remember information that supports beliefs that we already hold. You already agree with the topic, you click on similar content, the algorithm learns that that's what you'll click on, it gives you similar recommendations. So your beliefs are reinforced. If all the articles are saying that you're right, it must mean that you're right. So for shopping and entertainment, like videos, items that you're going to buy, it's not a big deal. It doesn't hurt if you buy something that you didn't really want or need. But when it comes to important topics like health, finances, education, public issues, mental health, important decisions need accurate information. But algorithms optimize for engagement, not accuracy. So what do I hope you take away from this? I chose this topic because a lot of people don't realize how algorithms work, or maybe don't even realize that they're kind of everywhere. I want people to understand how they work, be aware that they are there, understand that the information that they're getting is already filtered, understand what's happening so that you can further decide what's right for you. My hope isn't that you'll stop using algorithms. They're part of everyday life. They're really useful in a lot of situations, just that you understand how they work and that why you're seeing the information that you are, and that the first thing you see isn't everything, and then decide for yourself whether you should keep looking or if that's enough.